brothers and sisters, may the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Mary said, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked upon his lowly servant. From this day all generations will call me blessed. The Almighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name. He has mercy on those who fear him in every generation. He has shown the strength of his arm, and he has scattered the proud in their conceit. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones, and has lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. He has come to help of his servant Israel, for he remembered his promise of mercy, the promise he made to our fathers, to Abraham and his children forever." Mary remained with Elizabeth about 3 months and then returned to her home. The Gospel of the Lord. The Gospel text today is the very famous and well-known Magnificat that Mary says in the course of her first invitation of Elizabeth into her home, and it becomes for the church the part of its evening prayer. Every day we say this in evening prayer in the office of the Divine Office. In the course of it, of course, she's kind of alluding to the fact that this plan of God finally has come to fruition. It's almost as if the Spirit is suggesting to her what she should be saying. And perhaps the most important line in a sense, I think, for us is that God remembered his promise of mercy. We look at the countless centuries that had preceded this, the long, long time it took to finally get to this moment. But through all of it, God never forgot. He never forgot the fact that he was going to give man a second chance for salvation. And so just as he had lost it so quickly in the garden, so this case, so quickly with that fiat that Mary gives, is all of a sudden the promise and the pledge back for us again. Mary also, in the course of telling this Magnificat, bespeaks the fact of the kind of change, the radical change of understanding of what's important. We read the Gospels and we find that many of the things that we would take for granted as being foolish in the eyes of the world are exactly the things God doesn't see as foolish. And so all of a sudden it's not the powerful and the mighty that are important. It's those who are lowly and those who are poor. All of a sudden it's not those who have everything that are the first and foremost. It is rather those who have nothing that become first and foremost. And of course that's the great challenge ever since that moment of salvation came into being with Jesus coming, for the world to continue to realize that and understand it. We surely know, just looking at our world around us today and reading what we see in the papers and see what we see on television, we still have a long way to go. We still don't recognize the fact that we really have an awesome task before us of changing the way people think and act and react, so that we don't have all these signs of poverty and hunger. We don't have all these situations of hate and discord that's present around us. And so the promise must continue to be spoken about. God will not forget. He will continue to remember and be with us. But at the same time, we must continue to remember as well and make the best that we can to change the little ways that we are able to within our own personal worlds, the way we think, the way we act, and how we treat each other.